Good morning. This gonna be different. I'm in my car, but I'm talking about rejection, man. And you know what I mean. I feel like this is where a lot of us end up at when we feel like that. You know what I mean. But it's deeper than what you're gonna think. You know what I mean. So imagine you walking away from a firelight of your tribe. This back in the day, right? No laughter behind you, no name spoken in your home, just the wind, the dark sky, and your damn heartbeat, right? Because you were rejected, cast out, exiled from what gave you identity. What happened to your spirit? What you think happened to theirs? Like back in the day, right? Um, 'Cause I did a little bit of research on it. You know what I mean? So if you was in your tribe, so imagine if it's like prison basically. So I done been to prisons where all the blacks and all the dudes from Florida got together and said to the other people, "I'm on my own." So basically, I was rejected. So I had to sign a basically I had to sign something saying I can go on the compound, and if something happened to me, it ain't on the police. So I'm like, hell yeah, you know what I mean? So I went back out there for about a week. They did it again, locked me back up. Say they got people threatening to do stuff to me. They writing notes saying if they don't get me out the compound, they're gonna do something to me. Ain't that something? And it was all child molesters, for real. It was like 43 child molesters. But anyway, um, in ancient tribes, right? Being part of the community was more than belonging. It meant access to ritual. Ancestors were your guardians, and spirits of place rooted you. When someone was exiled, ostracized, because I got a poem about that, cast out, it wasn't just social. It meant losing sacred connections, the rituals, the community, the very essence that tied you to life. Sort of like what they do now with jobs and stuff, or your family, or your game, basically. Well, you're not, no, we ain't even thinking about that gang shit because we ain't on that. So excuse me. Uh, but the spiritual wounds, so the spiritual wounds of rejection, right, are it carries wounds that I can't see. So the loss of sacred connection, no more ceremonies, no more ancestors' voice, shame, ancestral disgrace, your name becomes a weight. So ritual impurity. In many systems, once you are out, you're seen as unclean. You cannot re enter sacred spaces. Inner exile, you have doubts, fears, the inner voice saying you do not belong. They do say that sometimes, right? They try to sneak in there and shit, be like, but these wounds do more than hurt. They shape identity. They tell us who we are or who we think we are. They do kind of do that. They could do that. Well, they do kind of do that. You know what I mean? Let's be tap in. You know what I mean? But if you like by yourself, like how we are, and you're not tapped in, so to speak, it's gonna be hard for you, man. And I hope you can figure out how to find a way to talk yourself out of it. Like it don't gotta be as bad as you thinking. I mean, wallow in it for a little while, feel that shit. You know what I mean? Don't run from it, but it's a reason. So the transformation can be born from the exile. So, but exile often becomes the ground for spiritual growth. Think of prophets, mystics, hermits. They walk away, suffer, wonder, reflect. The wilderness becomes a teacher. It's in the silence, the isolation that the inner self is found. The trial refines the spirit. Charity, compassion, wisdom born from pain. Right? So return, reconciliation, and rebirth. Not every exile ends in return, but many do. Reconciliation comes through rituals, through acknowledgement of pain, through humility, through forgiving and maybe being forgiven. When the rejected are welcomed back, the tribe is reminded of compassion. The exile bring new wisdom. Their suffering becomes a bridge for others. Damn. So they do let him come back. I wonder, do they like, because you know you got to have family members there, and they like, what happened to you? Where you been? Like, what's been going on with you? Like, we miss you. You know what I mean? Then I know in the Bible would say something about one sheep was missing. He was in exile. They went and got him. So when they rejected, okay. So modern parallels of your story. You know what I mean? Today's spiritual exile might look like feeling rejected by family and community, being a refugee or displaced, losing culture, language, or identity, emotional isolation, depression, shame. These are exiles, not physical always, but spiritual. And yet, there is always a way back. So, how do we get there? You know what I mean? It ain't like we don't know. I think it's that one thing that we know that God knows that we need to stop. It might not be illegal. It might not be that bad, but you feel like it is. That's what it is. So I ask you, is there a part of you that feels exiled right now? Do you long to hear your name spoken at home again? You might not return the same. You might be changed. You might be humble. You might be softened, but you might be wise. But your story ain't over. Even in exile, your spirit can grow. Even in silence, you can find your damn voice. Let this be your return. If this touched you, share it, comment, like it. You ain't alone in this journey. Subscribe for more reflections like this. May you walk from exile back into fireflight again. You know what I mean? So basically, man, I done been rejected my whole life from my mama to the to you know what I mean? And it bothered me as a kid, but a young ass kid, not no damn teenager. Once I got about 11, It's a good number right there. Yeah, once I got 11, dog, I ain't give a damn no more. Like I felt like that's what it was. You know what I mean? And I done felt like that since then. You know what I mean? I felt like that's what it was. So even when I be with people, like I can be with, I done been married and all. Even when I be with people, bro, like I can feel that they ain't there. Like you know what I mean? I can feel they ain't there. They could be smiling and everything, but I can feel, or I can it's see and feel. You know what I mean? And it hurt when but they don't say it, but I see it and I feel it, and I know they lying. But don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. Just be like, damn, they one of them. Go on with your life, dog. Don't let that rejection stop you. Let it start you.